Time for the most iconic screen in League of Legends, it's the match found screen. There are quite few circles in this design, so I'll speed up the first minute because honestly, watching me draw circles isn't the exciting part. So I started with a simple rectangle and I gave it the maximum corner radius to turn it into a perfect circle. And I added a subtle golden stroke by using the linear gradient. Riot uses the warm gold through the client, so even something this simple already starts feeling like the League of Legends. For the ring, I'll be using two circles because we have the outer lane and also the inner one. So for the inner, I'm gonna switch it to arc and add it a bit more sweep. Then I'm gonna rotate it to be exactly in the middle. And this lets us create the progress link that's gonna wrap around the interface. Notice it's not a full circle. We're gonna leave a gap that's gonna create some movement and anticipation. Next, we're gonna build the accept button. I'm gonna start with a simple rectangle and I'm gonna bend the corners into a trapezoid. So I'm gonna hit enter on my keyboard and grab the top corners left and right and then bend it by one square. So the top part is done. I'm gonna move it down to create the bottom part. I'll be using an ellipse and then on top of that ellipse I'll be using another rectangle with the subtract to cut away the top section. So I'm gonna leave the exact bottom part that I need, and finally I'm gonna merge everything together with the union to create one clean shape. Game UI is often just loads of simple shapes combined together. Nothing here is really complicated. It's the combination that creates the final look. So let's fill it with a dark blue and add a golden outline. One thing I both love and hate about the League UI is that almost every shape has another shape nested inside it. That repeat border treatment is one of the reasons the whole client feels so consistent. To create it, I will duplicate the button and use the scale tool while pressing K. To make sure the corners line up nicely with the outer frame, I will flatten the vector and tweak the control points to make everything follows the same angle. That tiny adjustment makes surprisingly big difference. Next, I will add a blue gradient stroke. League of Legends really relies on those flat color, so instead of almost everything transition between blue, cyan and small hints of green, make the interface feel magical rather than metallic. So let's finish the secondary button before moving out to the fun part. I'll be using an auto layout so the button grows naturally within the text. Whenever you're designing interfaces, auto layout is one of those things that saves you hours later. Then the match found title and subtitles are also built using the auto layout. Even though this screen isn't responsible in-game, designing this way keeps everything aligned and makes future edits much easier. Now comes the part that really sells the whole interface, the glowing energy ring. First, I will duplicate the arc we already created and make it about 2 pixels smaller. One nice thing about using an arc is that we can easily adjust where the sweep starts, so let's move it to the match original design. For the fill, I like combining a radial gradient with linear gradient. The radial gradient creates the soft glow, while the linear gradient adds a brighter hotspot at the beginning of the ring. Small lighting variations like this make the effect feel much more natural. It's all about the details. I will add 2 inner shadows, one at -4 pixels and other one at another 4 pixels. Using 2 opposites inner shadow give us even glow around the entire link instead of lighting only one side. It takes a bit more work, but the results look much closer to what Riot does. Now we need to contain all these effects inside the ring, so we are going back to masks. If you watch previous lesson, you will know masks are everywhere in the game UI. League of Legends use them constantly to keep the lighting clean and prevent effects from blending outside their shapes. Let's start with the glow running along the bottom of the ring. I'm using one of my favorites combination, a simple shape with a linear gradient and a layer blur. For the linear gradient, I have 3 stops. The first and the last stop is on 0 opacity and the middle stop is at 100%. So instead of trying to make one perfect glow, I will duplicate this line 3 times. As you guys can see, some of them is like more blue light, some of them is more white light. So I'll be playing with brightness, stroke weight, as well as the blur number. Layering subtle effects almost always look better than one strong effect. Once those are ready, I will group them together and use the ring as a mask so all the glow stays perfectly inside. Now for the fun part, lighting. I will draw the first streak using the pen tool, apply a linear gradient, then add a little blur. I'm also changing the stroke profile so it's thicker in the middle and tapers towards the end. For this one, I like to use just different brush type. Real energy isn't perfectly uniform, so this instantly makes the lighting feel more organic. League of Legends doesn't just use one lighting streak, there are dozens of them. Some of them are longer, some of them are more curved, some of them overlap each other. So the randomness is what makes the whole effect feels alive. The next type of lighting inside isn't just a simple line anymore, it's more like a flowing ribbon. So I will draw it with the pen tool and then I'm gonna apply both gradient fill and gradient stroke. I like to use 3 gradient stops with the middle one completely transparent. This creates a nice fading effect without needing extra shapes. Again, I will duplicate it a few times, change the size, rotation and curve so every piece feels slightly different. The last element inside the ring is these soft glowing blobs. They're actually much simpler than they look. I will draw a curved shape near the edge of the ring and fill it with white gradient. They don't stand out individually, but together they help sell the illusion of like moving energy. Later on we're gonna animate it, so we will definitely need those. Now let's move on to all the effects outside the rings, which are really what make this screen feel like it's exploding with energy. So the fastest way to do it, I'm gonna copy this one layer from inside, which is like a ribbon shape, and I'm gonna place it outside so it's not inside the mask. I'm gonna resize it a bit, but most importantly, I'm gonna reduce the fill opacity so it's more fade in, as well as I'm gonna reduce the stroke weight so it's barely visible. With playing with the linear fill gradient, sometimes we have this like almost invisible part, so I'm gonna try to move the transparent part a bit more in the middle so it's give us like illusion like it's empty. And of course we're gonna duplicate it a few times. I think we have like 6 of them around this inner circle. Last but not least on this screen is this icon. I've decided I'm gonna approach to draw it myself. Let's see how it's gonna end up. So first we got just the golden rectangle. I'll be using the exact same stroke I used for the outer ring. So it's a rectangle with corner radius. And next, what we can do is we can go inside and cut the edges. So we can cut the top right corner and the bottom left corner, and we can take that shape and rotate it. Figma have now so many functions probably you never heard of. For example, this cutting or the brush stroke. In game UI, we're gonna use all those functions a lot. Here is one rule I always follow when designing icons. If the icon is made from clean geometric shapes, I build it using rectangles, circles, and then Boolean operations such as union or subtract. It's faster and easier to edit and gives so much cleaner vectors. I only switch to pen tool when the shapes become more organic, like these flames, smokes, leaves, lighting, or cloth. Those are much easier to draw than trying to force them with Boolean shapes, because we're gonna end up with like 100 of subtract on subtract. So once you know when to use each approach, you'll design shapes much faster and you're gonna end up with way cleaner files. That's it for this lesson. As always, link to Figma is gonna be in the description. See you in next one.